everybody. Welcome to another Wednesday WIP knockout. Thank you so much for being here. I love seeing everybody in the comments. I'm thrilled that you made time out of your day to be here for this Wednesday WIP knockout. If you are new or if you haven't yet, make sure you go grab 3 WIPs from around your home. If you have them right next to you, that is awesome. Or if you need to go grab them, just make sure you have 3 projects that you can have close to you, so that way, as we are transitioning from each section, each 20-minute section, that you can just grab a project, put it away, grab a project, put it away, grab a project, and put it away. We will begin here in about 4.5 minutes. I like to start our live with 5 minutes for people to prep. If you need to get yourself comfy cozy, grab something to drink so that way you can stay hydrated, really focus on yourself. What are you going to need to be comfortable? So grab something to drink, find your 3 projects, and then do whatever you need to make yourself, set up your station, make yourself super comfortable. Those of you who don't want to work on projects right now, maybe you're burnt out and you're like, I just need a break from crochet right now. That's totally cool. I have heard people utilize this very structured time frame to do chores, to color. You could do any other craft such as cross stitching or painting or knitting, weaving, just anything. You could do anything that you want with these 20-minute windows of time. It is 2:02 right now. We have 3 minutes. I try to be very structured with this, so that way if you're watching the replay, all you have to do is fast forward 5 minutes into the video to begin our first section. So you kind of know what to anticipate, you know what to expect. If you are brand new here, please let us know if this is your very first Wednesday WIP knockout. Whoop whoop! So excited for you to be here. This live has a point. There is a reason, there's a purpose for these weekly Wednesday WIP knockouts, and that is to make forward progress on the current projects that you have, so that way we can chisel away at them and get them off of our plate, get them out of our space and onto its next destination, whether that be a gift or that be a donation, or that be just, if it's a stash buster project, then you're just cleaning up your space and then moving it on to its next destination, making room for new yarn, new inspirations, and keeping your creativity flowing. Something that happens or was happening a lot was being here on YouTube. You get inspired constantly every week, new project, new video, so much that you want to make. Anyone here, please let me know. Put in the comments if you have a crazy long list of projects that you want to do. If you have your laundry list of bucket list projects that you just are really excited to give a try, say something in the comment section. I would love to hear about it. But what happens is we get all this inspiration, we go buy all this yarn for these projects, we end up consuming ourselves, starting too many projects, not finishing anything, running out of space to put yarn that we want to buy because we're inspired. Okay, it's 2:04. We got 1 minute, guys. I am already good to go. So hopefully at this point you have everything you need. You got your projects, you got your drink, you're getting comfy because we're about to begin. But we're just constantly accumulating. What I'm doing here every Wednesday is helping to take some of your current projects off of your plate. So that is the purpose. We're not starting anything new. We are chiseling away at something that we've already started. So if you have the ability, please let me know what projects that you're working on today in the chat. I'd love to see what you chose, what projects that you picked to put on your crochet hook, that you picked to begin. It gives me a lot of feedback. All right, it's 2:05. We're going to start session number 1. Boom, right there. Got the 20-minute timer in the background. If you would like to mute me, then that is fine. I'll make sure that you can constantly see the timer in the video. I'm going to keep talking so that way you can just keep focusing on your project. My job is to just give you something to listen to. So that way you can look down. Don't look at the screen. Don't look at me. I want you to look down at your project. I want you to give this project or whatever it is that you're working on your full, undivided attention for 20 minutes. This is going to give you that forward momentum. It's going to chisel away at the project. It's going to make that big dent, getting it closer to being done and off your plate. So I want you to focus, hyper focus on your project, not me. But if you have a question, I'm here for you. I'm here live right now. If you would like to ask me a question that is crochet, yarny, even YouTube related, feel free. I am all ears and I'll do the best that I can. I'll give you a fair answer and I will answer it to its fullest and not just give you a quick little like, here you go. If you have a question that you really need answered right away, I encourage you to check out my super chats and super stickers. You can find those right next to the chat where you would type in a comment. There's a little $sign. If you click on the $sign, a whole bunch of options pop up for you. And 2 of those are super chats and super stickers. If you pick one of those, it pops up on the screen and it's like a big indicator for me and I'll answer that question. It becomes the first priority and I will see the question in there and I'll answer it right away. Otherwise, I will get to all questions in the chat, but you just got to be patient with me. I like to give every question a really good, thoughtful answer. And so it ends up meaning I get a little behind in the chat. It just seems to happen. And that's okay. We're all here. We're all here for a good time. But yeah, let me know in the chat if you have a question or if you have the ability to share with me what you're working on. Gives me some feedback. It's a lot of fun and it's a way for us to engage with each other. All right, 17 minutes, 30 seconds. What I'm hoping you're doing right now, I'm hoping that you're focused on your project and that you're busy. You're busy being focused, crocheting, chiseling away. I'm going to dive into the comments real quick to make sure that I'm on the ball. We'll see if I can actually crochet today. Seems to happen, especially every week as we grow, more people find this Wednesday WIP knockout, this, join in, ask questions. I'm finding that I have less and less time to work on my projects during this time. And I'm spending most of my time talking, which is fine because then I am giving you something to listen to. And I have other time that I designate to my projects. I give this time to you. This time right now is me helping you. Oh, also, if you ask a question in the comments or in the chat, if you could please help me out and start your question with like 3 question marks. The chat moves really fast and I find myself having to scan, and those question marks in the beginning of your question, it kind of like gives my eye something to look for and it helps me scan quickly. And if I miss your question, just ask it again. I don't mean to. It happens sometimes. Oh, cool. So Bean says planning to work on 2 knit and 1 crochet WIPs today. Sweet. Very cool. What projects are you working on? What are you making? I'm very curious. I've always admired knit. I have always thought that knit is just beautiful. But I've always been a crochet gal. I just really enjoy crocheting. Connie, hello. Connie says, hello, finished blanket for daughter. Yes. Congratulations on finishing this blanket for your daughter. You finished a WIP, got that off your plate. How exciting. Yay, congratulations. You finished a blanket for your friend. Boom, 2 for 2. Nice. And you're starting a new blanket and stockings and a couple headbands. Well, all right. It's just like one after another after another. Hopefully you're able to utilize some of the yarn in your stash and you didn't have to go do extra shopping, and maybe this is helping to clear out some room in your space. But even if you had to go shopping because maybe these are gifts, I really do hope you have the best time making them. Monica, hello, welcome. Says I'm working on blankets for the homeless shelter. Oh, that's beautiful. I love that so much. I'm actually, this is a great opportunity. We are closing out 2024. I'm already deep into my calendar trying to figure out what I'm going to be doing for 2025. And I'm looking for different charity ideas. Of course, I am completely passionate with soap sacks, the SAC Foundation. I'm completely passionate with Warm Up America. I love helping to support them. But there are so many nonprofit charity organizations that are seeking crochet donations. And I would love to share the love, and also in the process, shine a light and bring awareness to other charities. And so if you have a charity that you love to support or would love to bring a little attention to, please let me know in the chat and the comments of the replay video. That way I can reach out to them and see if we can put together a campaign together. Just really, there's so many beautiful souls in the world, so many people that try to help others and make this world a better place. These people starting such nonprofit organizations that are seeking these donations to distribute. And it can be exhausting, it can be overwhelming. Burnout is a true thing for even these nonprofit organizers, so helping them to get found, helping to, bring awareness to them is the least that I could do, right? So, I gotta scroll. Scrolling. Barbara, hi. Says I have multiple crochet playlists on YouTube of projects I want to do. Oh, girl. I mean, there's playlists on YouTube. There are my Pinterest boards are out of control because Pinterest, there's so many gorgeous pictures and so much inspiration. I have thousands of projects pinned on Pinterest that I couldn't even if I started today and I didn't add another pin in Pinterest. If I just started today to work on making everything that I had pinned on Pinterest, I wouldn't make it. Like, I would literally, it would surpass my lifespan. I'll say that. Bean says, I started browsing Ravelry, and you get way too ambitious with your plans. It's funny. Yeah. I don't like Pinterest is my first go-to, and then Ravelry. And some people have it switched where their first go-to is Ravelry and then Pinterest. So there's so many places to find inspiration. It's almost not fair. And then you got YouTube too, right? So yeah. That's why I'm not adding any more inspiration to you during these Wednesday WIP knockouts. I purposely am not giving you any more to do. I'm helping you to take stuff off your plate. I figured, that it's so easy to keep showing you other things, other cute things, other projects, other inspirations. It's so easy to do that. And I know I was starting to get overwhelmed, and I heard a lot of other people just start to get really overwhelmed because you end up having so much that you want to do that you're swamped, right? And so, yeah, this is my way of doing something a little different, like I'm giving you that permission. I'm giving you that time once a week, just 20 minutes. And 20 minutes is, I could easily burn 20 minutes on Pinterest. I could easily burn 20 minutes scrolling through Instagram. It's just gone. It just disappears. I look at my phone, put my phone down, and an hour has passed. I'm like, what just happened? It's gone. And so if I can tell you, don't look at me, Don't look at the screen. I want you looking down. I want you to be working on your project and just listening to me. Have me in your ear. And again, if I'm talking too much or I'm talking about stuff that you don't want to hear or don't care about, then you can mute me and turn music on and just focus on the timer I have in the background. But this is a structured time that you can just kind of be like, okay, this is it. This is what I'm doing. This is my 100% attention is going to this. I'm what's the word? Hyper focused, and you're making progress. So very cool, very cool. And I'm so glad, I'm so grateful that everyone is here. Thank you for being here. Hi, Sharon says, I have a ton of patterns that I printed out and want to make. Plus, I participate in blog hops and get free patterns from them too. Oh my gosh, right? So it's constant inspiration. I used to print out out patterns. I literally have I've had to clean out a bunch, and this is something I've done for over a decade. So long time with this, but I would keep 3-ring binders and have sheet protectors, those plastic sheet protectors. And I would print out patterns and I'd pop them in the sheet protectors, or I have a 3-hole puncher. So I'd print out the pattern and I'd staple it in the top and then 3-hole punch it and pop it in the 3-ring binder. And I believe at one time I had 4 3-ring binders just filled with patterns because one, I started this before digital was really a thing. And 2, I'm also more of a tactile person. I just have a better connection with patterns that are physical, like printed out, than I do with anything digital. I appreciate the crap out of digital patterns in the sense that you can expand the text and you can enlarge it. So if the font is weird or if the text is just too itty bitty on the printed copy, digitally, you can make it bigger so it's easier to see. And so I really appreciate that so much about digital. But for me, there's something about holding the pattern. There's something about flipping the page, or I don't know. I don't know what it is, but I just seem to connect to it better. Is that just me? Is it just me? Are you the same? Are you somebody that prefers digital or oh, that's a great question. I'm gonna write that down. I'm gonna ask this on my YouTube community page. If you follow me on I'm sure everyone here follows me on YouTube because you got the notification that I started this live. But if you go to my channel and see the tabs at the top, you'll see like videos, playlists, community. If you click on community, I can text things in there kind of like you'd see on Facebook. And I'm going to ask in there your preference, physical or digital copy patterns. Yeah, I'm super curious. I think that's, good information right there. All right, Brenda says, working right now, but when I get off, I have to finish an octopus keychain. Now I want to make an octopus keychain. Like, that sounds so cool. Oh my gosh. 4 kids, classmates, and teachers for tomorrow. Oh, yeah. Can you believe this is the last week of school, unless your child or grandchild had this week off? But my kids have a half day on Friday, and then they have the next 2 weeks after that off. But making something for teachers, that's such a great idea. I mean, seriously, just showing them a little bit of love. That's really cool. And a keychain, brilliant, because keychains are small and they're useful, whether they are used on a key ring or you can just have it like it's so cute. You can prop it up like on your desk station, or put it somewhere. You can just like put it somewhere and it's cute. It doesn't have to be on a keychain. And it's quick and small, and I think that's brilliant. Look what you did to me. Oh my gosh. Now I'm like, oh, flustered, like thinking with this octopus keychain. Like, we have 4 minutes and 35 seconds left of session number 1. You are doing fantastic. Way to go. Staying focused. Try to hit these last 4 minutes extra hard. Make as much progress as you can on project number 1. Ooh, Life in Janie's World says currently crocheting granny square window cover. That sounds cool. I'm intrigued by that. I've always, the last year and a half, I've been really curious about curtains, like crochet curtains. Yes, most of them are done with lace, and it's kind of like a fillet style. But I'm like, that's old school. Like, that's really cool. I've been intrigued. Bean says, I'm knitting the coffee Cantana socks for my mom and crocheting a cassowary for my sister. How cool. See, gifts. We're definitely in crunch time with that. There's a couple things that I'm making right now. I'm making those of you who have seen the movie Tangled with Rapunzel, Disney movie, there's somebody that asked for a Rapunzel flower. And I searched on the internet everywhere because I'm like, man, I really don't want to create the wheel. If I had to, I could figure it out. But it would just take me so much time, like just trying to like figure it out. And knowing me, I'd probably just overcomplicate it. But because that's what I do. Like I overcomplicate it. But I found a pattern and I'm like, yes, thank goodness. And so I'm working on this tangled flower for this individual's special request. And then I don't know if I'll have time to make anything else. Oh, that was the other thing. I was actually going to show you guys. So we have 2 minutes and 20 seconds left. Like 4 years ago, I started the whole, let me back up a little bit. The whole Nightmare Before Christmas crochet set. I didn't mute it. My bad. Sorry about that. All right. So I bought this because I love this movie. And I think it's really cool that it connects so well with 2 of the biggest holidays of the year. Well, I didn't get very far. I made Jack, which has made the appearance in many of my videos, but I just keep him in the background. He's like a backdrop, kind of like just decoration that I keep in my office. The other one, though, after making him, was Oogie Boogie. This is as far as I got. And I made him because he required the least amount of color work, the least amount of detail, and he's my sister's favorite. So I literally have not touched this guy in over a year. And I think I'm gonna try to finish him up and give him to my sister for Christmas. So I think she'll love him. And because he's so close, it's not like I'm starting from the very beginning. I'm basically just knocking out another WIP in a sense, right? And play on that, WIP Wednesday knockout, play on that, knocking them out. Got 30 or 20 seconds, guys. 20 seconds. And so, gosh, that whole kit is something I'd love to make one of each character from this book too, because how cool would that be? I don't have enough holiday decor for for any holiday, really. Oh, there you go. Time's up. Right, session 1 is over. I am about to begin our 5-minute transition. This 5-minute transition is for you to find a good stopping spot with project number 1. Maybe you're really close to finishing a row, or maybe you're really close to finding a good place to stop and pause your project. This is your opportunity to do that. Go ahead and just get to a really good pausing, stopping spot in project number 1. Then fold up your project, put it away nice and neatly, and then have that set aside for the next time that you want to work on it. This is also a great time to use the restroom if you need to use the restroom, or just stand up if you want to stretch a little bit. Grab that drink, grab project number 2, and get yourself all good to go to get started. If you want to begin before session 2 starts, by all means, go ahead and start now if you want to. But this is going to give everybody an opportunity to get in that bathroom break or take that break real quick before we start our next project. Cool. Yeah, I really, really want to make this, but it's one of those things that's just another thing on my list of stuff that I want to do, you know? So but talking about Christmas gifts making for people. Yeah, I'm going to try to wrap up that Oogie Boogie to give to my sister. And yeah, that'll be a lot of fun. That'll be cool. It's funny. My son gave Christmas presents away this year to his friends. He got each of his friends a little something. I was like, that's so sweet. Like, he asked, he's like, can I do this? And I was like, aw. And he wrapped everything. He was like, it was just like yesterday. Yeah, it was yesterday morning before school. He's like, Mom, do you have a bag that I can put all these gifts in so I can keep it all together? I can handle everything, because he didn't have enough room in his backpack. And I was looking around and I was like, I know I have a craft bag around here somewhere, but I didn't want to embarrass the poor kid and give him something that was like too girly or too crafty, anything that might draw attention or get him picked on. So I found, after going through a lot, I found my DFW Fiber Festival tote bag that I got 2 years ago. This was back, did they have the year? Oh, they don't have the year on it. But yeah, this was 2 years ago. And I was like, yeah, those colors, they'll work. And it was big enough. And so what I did is I literally took my craft bag over to the couch and I dumped it upside down and I just shook everything out of it. And what I realized the projects that I had stashed in there were all of my Nightmare Before Christmas kit stuff, and this other project that I started in my crochet club last year. Around this exact same time, Warm Up America was doing a campaign where they were making scarves, and they had a free pattern for these mug scarves. Are those not the cutest? And then they also have sections that you could make into a scarf, or you could just make the sections and you could turn it into a blanket or something. But if you go to warmupamerica.org, you should still be able to find this free pattern on there. But we were working on this as a crochet along project in my crochet club last year, and I still have it. It's like all the pieces are still right here. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's from last year. Like, just another WIP, like the reason we're here is to clean those up and get those off of our list. All right, 42 seconds left, and then we're going to start session number 2. Hopefully at this point, you are good to go. You're seated comfortably. You have project number 2 ready to go, and you can begin now if you would like. I'm going to take a drink. But I really wanted to share that story with you guys. I thought you might get a kick out of that. Okay, so 15 seconds. Dive into the chat real fast. I am seeing question marks. So I'm going to dive to question marks because I want to make sure I get to those. It's funny, I get some FOMO sometimes when I see all the chats, and I'm like, well, what did you say in there? What'd you say? All right. Session number 2, guys, has begun. You can now start tunnel visioning on your project. So I end up reading the chat. I do read the chat after the live is over. I go backwards and I'm like, did I catch everything? Did I miss anything? Is there anything that I want to write down that was like, oh, that was good, a good suggestion, a good idea? Christine, I know I'm way back here, says, have you heard of Carrie's Thread of Hope, needing yarn for a program teaching prison inmates to crochet? Hey, that's pretty cool. They're needing yarn for a You know what's great is I know I have a bunch of yarn that I just need to get out of my space. And I'm sure there's a lot of other people here that also have yarn that you bought once upon a time, and now it's maybe in a tote or it's in a bag that's stashed in a closet that's buried. Or it just might be on a shelf collecting some dust because you got it full of intention and just haven't touched it in years. I mean, if you are in this situation, if this sounds like you, then finding a new home for that yarn, someone else who will love it and play with it. I mean, thinking best case scenario. I mean, I think anyone that's willing to make good use of it, such as teaching prison inmates to crochet. I mean, crochet does such incredible positive things for our mental health, whether it is helping us to de-stress, helping us to work through depression, helping us to work through difficult situations, helping us to just slow down when we're super stressed out. Like, crochet does such incredible things, and to give somebody something that can help their mental health, I think that's really cool. So I'll look into that. It's called, new note, I started keeping a notepad here during these lives because I find myself writing so many notes down. You guys have so much to say and so many good, helpful tips and points. I appreciate the heck out of you guys. Thank you. So, Carrie's Thread of Hope. Written down. All right. Monica said St. Jude's Children's Hospital. I love them. They're fantastic. That's a good point. I'll reach out to them, see. They usually have other big campaigns that they do. St. Jude's. Yay! Hi, Mary. I'm glad that you made it. Eating pie. I think that's awesome. Okay, looking for question marks real quick so that way I can make sure I get to your questions. Hi, Nessa. I'm glad that you made it. No worries. I don't mind if anybody's late. I just love that you made it. Hi, Fran. Fran says she likes both printed and digital. That makes sense. I'll work with both, but I definitely have a preference. Ooh, Nessa, you said you have 2 items you might be able to submit to the contest tonight. Yes, you can still email me the pictures if you can. You can literally show up to tonight's Crafters Gathering crochet contest with your entry and present it during the live that we'll have. But don't have to submit the entries beforehand. It helps so that way I can include the pictures in the PowerPoint presentation. And I am also going to be setting up the Google Forms so we can pick a winner. And if you submit early, then I can have that already prepped and preloaded into the Google form. But if you can't get me pictures ahead of time, you can still submit like live. So no rush. Emma says, I am very focused. Running my underwater farm as a mermaid. Mermaids make me happy. Oh, I love that. What book are those patterns from? The Nightmare Before Christmas ones? Is it a kit? It's a kit. It's one of those kits that is you find in Barnes and Noble or the store. Yeah, that's what it came in. It's a little bitty. See if I can. There's the kit. Might look a little familiar. But it has a lot of characters in here. It's so neat. Nessa, you'll love this. You should get the kit, if nothing else, other than just to get the book. So they have Sally, and Sally's who I'm going to be making next. Sally. They only give you enough yarn for Jack, and they say Sally, but I'm like, no. I might have to buy more yarn for Sally. We'll see. I just started her. And then here's the Oogie Boogie. But that's all. So all the other yarn you have to acquire elsewhere. Professor, he's really cool. Like, dang. Okay. The detail. Like I said, that's why I picked Oogie Boogie to be my second one, because he had the least amount of details. The mayor. The problem is the yarn is like materials. Well, that says like a DK cotton yarn. DK cotton yarn. So it's just DK cotton yarn. But there's looks like, oh, this is just DK yarn for Sally, DK. So size 3 weight yarn. But they got lock, shock, and barrel. Lock. Shock. Barrel. The colors, though, that's the one thing that'll be a little challenging. I was going to go to like a specialty yarn shop because they have so many color options. I'd be worried about going to a brick and mortar if they would have the colors that I wanted. Or I could order online. I mean, honestly, ordering online will have the most variety and options. That might be smarter. You could also get yarn cheaper. And then there's also like a tapestry. So now that I have teased you enough. Oh, Christine has question marks. Very cool. Thank you for the question marks. They are extremely helpful. Says, actually, here's the info if anyone is interested. Dana and Carrie discussed the project on a live on December 13th. It's called Exciting News from Carrie. They had a guest on who started the program. Hey, cool. Oh, nice. Diamond painting is also a good stress reliever. I haven't done it yet, but I could totally see that being a stress reliever, because you have to focus. You have to focus so hard. You can't think about anything else. And those type of projects are great because you can't get in your head. You're not allowed to let your thoughts like take you to places you don't want to go. You have to hyper focus. You have to think so you have to zero in so much and really tunnel vision on what you're doing, especially with those diamond paintings where, it's so little. You really got to focus, and it takes all your focus and takes it away from the other things that you don't want it to focus on. Arrow Lover says, contest starts tonight and we have till the end of the month. A question mark. So in my crochet club over on my website, we're doing a Christmas crochet contest tonight. It's something that we have been planning and prepping for the last 3 months. It has to be tonight because, we have 9 minutes and 20 seconds left of session number 2, guys. 9 minutes and 20 seconds. We're actually not meeting the next 2 Wednesdays. Big heads up, everybody. So there's not going to be a live next week because it's Christmas Day. And we're not going to have a live the week after that because that is New Year's Day. So the next 2 Wednesdays land on a significant holiday. And so there will be no lives. There will be no crafters gathering meetings in our crochet club. Just going to kind of take the next 2 weeks off, get past that, and then we'll regroup and come back in the new year. So just giving everyone a heads up. Ooh, Heather says, I got a Peanuts kit. I've seen that one. It's super cute. But the size of each of the characters are so small. Not what I was expecting. Kind of disappointed. I think they do that on purpose. And yeah, every character that, I shouldn't say every. Most characters that I have seen from kits, they're all small because they're only going to give you so much material. And they also want to keep the patterns small as possible. So with these type of kits, it's intentional that these characters are so itty bitty because it can keep the cost down of materials and it can keep the cost down of creating the booklet or the instructions. Also having especially newer crocheters and even experienced crocheters, smaller creations, you have to work them up really tightly, and it can be a little more tricky getting your crochet stitches and getting your crochet hook into certain stitch spots because everything is so close together or so small. So it can be done, and they are super cute, but they're definitely a little more tricky, and they can require a lot more concentration. But the Peanuts is cute. Oh, good. Okay, Errol ever said I will send in my pictures. Awesome. I'm excited. But like I said, sending pictures is helpful because then I can get that PowerPoint presentation prepped and ready to go. But if you can't get me a picture early, just have your entry ready to show off tonight. And I will mention, okay, here's what I got. Does anybody else have anything they would like to enter? And then, we'll have hands raised and I'll give other people the floor. So no worries. Ashley says, I don't have a Swift yet, but I used a spinning gaming office chair instead and it worked. Love it. Being resourceful. Very cool. Thought I would share in case it helped anyone else. I love it. Heather, yes, I did get your previous WIP pictures. I have them on my computer ready to launch. I've been thinking of you since last Wednesday, and I've just been super crazy busy, but I have them ready to go, and I plan on sharing them this week. So I hope that I'll tag you. So I'm going to. What would your Instagram handle be? At what or hashtag what, and I'll tag you. When I get those out. All right, I've reached the end of the chat thus far. We have 5 minutes left of session number 2. Please make sure that you stick around for after session 2. We're going to do a nice stretch together, really focus on our crochet health, our, taking care of our bodies, so that way we can continue to do what we love for as long as possible. Especially this whole month, or even just this season, is our busiest time of year as crocheters, because we are making gifts, or we are just, it's colder outside, so we're having a lot more fun bringing the yarn out, sitting comfy cozy in our space as it's getting cold outside. Maybe it's gray outside and you're like, oh, it's just so depressing. Or maybe it's snowing. How many people have snow? Let me know how many people have snow. If it's like snowing outside, you just want to look at it, but you don't want to go out in it. And you're like, this is the perfect thing to do while watching it snow. Like the vibe. Oh, the vibe. Yes, I want to do that so bad. I mean, if you haven't noticed, if you showed up last week, you'd be like, she says this all the time. Like, oh, one of these days, that is going to happen. Big landscape window, like portrait window where you can look out into a view, seeing it snow, being in a comfy chair with your crochet project and a hot cup of hot chocolate or coffee or tea, there with you. It's just vibing so hard. Like, oh my goodness. Oh, thank you, Heather. Oh, Heather says, I don't have an Instagram. All right. Well, I will let you know when we see each other next. I'll make sure to make a note so that way I can let you know that I shared it on Instagram, and I'll share it on Facebook, and I'll even share it, if you don't mind, in my crochet club on the community. Be like, here's some pictures of supporting another crocheter. Cher's like, now I want a hot chocolate. Sorry. Sweet. Awesome. Very cool. I ended up I noticed this right before going live. I decided that the project that would be perfect for me to work on while being live with you all is making soap sacks, because I don't have to pay a lot of attention to the super simple stitch. It works up really fast. It's just a great project for me to work on, tinker with while I'm live with you. But I put it in my car. And I don't have my car right now. So I don't have it, of course, right? I put it in my car because I was finding myself too many times running errands and being left without like having situations where I was just kind of twiddling my thumbs, just scrolling on my phone. I'm like, I could so be crocheting right now. Like, what am I doing? But I didn't have a project with me. I didn't bring anything in the car. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to I have a little bag full of all my stuff to make soap sacks, and like the right yarn, the crochet hook, and just, it's like perfect. It's like this, almost a kit, like setup. But I just put that in the car, and then now here I am. Like, dang it. That's what I was supposed to be working on, and I don't have it. All right, 45 seconds left of session number 2. That's okay. In 40 seconds, we're going to be stretching anyway. I'm going to grab something to drink. Awesome. 20 seconds. What's your favorite flavor hot chocolate? Ooh. Honestly, I really like the milk chocolate, just normal hot cocoa, but with a candy cane to stir with. I don't like putting the syrup. Okay, session number 2 has just finished. I could do like a mint hot chocolate, but 2-minute buffer here. But I'm just fine doing like a regular hot chocolate with milk chocolate with a candy cane. I think it's fun. All right, we got 1 minute, 45 seconds. I wanted to give you a buffer time. So if you needed a chance to finish up your project, maybe you're really close to finishing the row, or you're really close to a good pausing spot, get to that pausing spot. Again, fold up your project nice and neatly, put it away, and then just stand up. We're going to start stretching. I'm going to take this 1 minute and 20 seconds to move my camera so that way I can start stretching with you guys. Just standing is a big deal. Just by standing up, you're making a positive impact on your body. We've just been sitting for 50 minutes. Like this. There we go. Make sure I don't like catch a cable. Hello. Back up. There we go. Move. Yes, just standing is a really big deal. When we are sitting for long extended periods of time, we end up causing certain areas of our body to, what's the best way to put it? If we're sitting a lot, then like blood is not circulating through our body as well. It starts to like pause or puddle, like starts to get sores on our butt, or our lower back starts to feel pain and aches, or our neck starts to feel pains and aches, our shoulders. There's the timer. Parts of our bodies are in a position for too long, and it starts to create aches and pains. And knowing us, crocheters, we will work through aches and pains to get a project done, whether there's a deadline, or we're just so close to finishing it, or we're just having so much fun just sitting. Maybe you're watching a movie or a show and you're working away on your project and you're just kind of like in your zone, and you don't let little aches and pains take you out of your zone. The problem is when we ignore our aches and pains and just kind of work through it, those aches and pains become a problem, and they can lead to big problems. And I've heard too many stories of crocheters having to stop crocheting because they hurt too much. They have too much pain in their elbow, their shoulders, their back, their neck. Lots of stories, lots of different scenarios, all coming down to they just experience too much pain and or discomfort, and they can't crochet anymore. And that breaks my heart, because crochet does so many positive things for us. And so just by doing these little things, we can prevent a lot of that from happening and allow us to keep crocheting for longer and just keep with it. So when it comes to these stretches, I like to focus on our neck, our shoulders, our upper chest, upper back, our forearms, our wrists, our fingers, and our lower back. Not focusing on all of them. I only do 5 stretches. We are going to start with our neck. I always do the neck every single week because it's very common for that C curve, that craned neck. Necks can always be an issue. So I always want to focus on the neck. What I want you to do is I want you to take your right hand and put it on your waist. Yay. I want you to take your left hand and I want you to put it on the side of your head. And I want you to slowly guide your head to the side. Like, don't yank, just kind of slowly guide it. And once you find a spot where your head just doesn't go any further, then I want you to take your bent arm and I want you to stretch it, straighten it out. And you're going to feel a really nice, deep stretch in your neck. And it feels so good. Then just count to 5 and release. Oh, I love that stretch. Let's do the other side. So take your left hand, put it on your waist, right hand, side of your head, and just guide your head to the side. Count to 5. Oh, wait, sorry. Once you have found a spot that your neck doesn't go any further, then straighten your arm for the deeper stretch. If you don't want the deeper stretch, you can keep your hand on your waist and just count to 5. And gently release. Awesome. Great. Next, I want to focus on our chest. Again, we do so much of this. We just need to do the opposite to add some balance to our body. I'm going to just take my hands, clasp them behind my back, and then I'm going to straighten my elbows. So like this, and then straighten, and that just helps open the chest. If at any point I show you how to do a stretch that you cannot do or it causes you pain and discomfort, feel free to substitute any other stretch in for the stretch that I'm showing you. You do not have to do the stretches that I am showing you is what I'm trying to say. Just stretching is the big deal. That's all that matters. Just stretching. Awesome. Okay, release. Great. Okay, next, I think I'm going to do wrists. So we're going to do wrist rolls. Just like 5 one direction and then 5 the other direction. If you ever feel any pain, tension, stress from your wrists, the wrist rolls are a really nice stretch to do to help make that feel better. Great. Next, I want to do finger extensions. So I love this one. Take your hand and expand your fingers. Take your other hand and then just gently like put a little bit, like just kind of bend your finger back to a comfortable spot. We are not yanking. We're not saying if we can get our finger to touch our arm. No, we're just allowing each finger to have an extension, and you're going to feel the stretch through the palm of your hand and sometimes even into your forearm. And then just hold each finger for about 5 seconds, 5 to 10 seconds. If you're really feeling the stretch, if you're feeling a little bit of like, ooh, I feel that, you can hold it as long as you want or come back to this. For your thumb, I want you to have your thumb go out even more and then back. If you have your thumb too close to your fingers and go back, you'll notice, like, do it. See the difference between your thumb being closer to your hand and back and out and back. It's a different stretch entirely. All right, cool. Other hand. And if you're already done, then sorry, I'm taking too long. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Great. Last stretch. So we've done our neck, we did our chest, we've done our wrist rolls, finger extensions. One more stretch with our back. I'm just going to do some side bends. Again, anything to help that lower back. So right hand on your waist, left hand, go up and just bend over. You want to feel it right here. If you're not, then maybe go back, maybe go forward. Just kind of like move your body until you really feel that stretch. And other side. Awesome. That's it. That's all you got to do. Stretching does not have to take forever. It does not have to be strenuous. And it doesn't have to be something that you have to do a bunch of. You just need to take your body and move it the opposite way that it has been for the last 50 minutes. and give your body a break. Give those muscle groups a break. Do something different. Let that blood circulation, like help that to get back on rhythm, back on track. Help your oxygen circulation. Do the same thing. Just kind of like help your body. And then let's go ahead and sit back down. Get comfy, cozy. Find project number 3. And I'm going to fix my camera. Change the timer back to 20 minutes. And session 3 has begun. Let me fix my camera up, get myself back. All you have to do is sit in your chair, get yourself comfy, cozy, grab that third project, and start tunnel visioning, begin that project and chiseling away. Cool. All right, let's go ahead. There's that. And that. Hey. There we go. That'll work. So good. All right, let me dive into the chat here. You work next week? Honestly, my sister and brother do too. They both work. My sister works even Christmas Eve. She, holiday hours, but she still works on Christmas Eve. So I'm just fortunate enough. I'm going to take the next 2 weeks knowing that a lot of our time together live is on Wednesdays, which land on a holiday. I mean, literally, if the holiday landed on a Friday, I'd still be doing this. Or even if the holiday landed on Thursday, the day after, I would still be performing my lives. But because the lives land on the holiday, I'm like, no, I'm going to go ahead and take this opportunity the next 2 weeks, and I'm going to just focus on wrapping up a lot of the stuff that I didn't get to finish last year, trying to get stuff prepped and ready for next year. And then with like YouTube, I'm going to have like the temperature blanket. The last weekend of December, I'm releasing the temperature blanket starter, like video 1 for January, like letting you know what stitch we're going to be doing in January, getting you that calendar stitch card so you can print that off and be ready and prepared for when January starts. You're good to go and you know what to do. So that video, make sure that that's finalized, everything is ready. And then, so the next 2 weeks, I'm going to be working. I'm going to be extremely busy, but I'm going to maximize on that time that I have. Oh, Fran, I guess I just answered your question, Fran. Fran asked, when will you start the temperature blanket? So the last weekend. Let's get my computer right here. Let's look at that. So it'll probably be released on the 28th is what I'm going to shoot for. That video, the December 28th, and then you'll have the 29th, the 30th, and the 31st. So you'll have 3-4 days before January even begins. So you'll have enough time, prep time, to get the calendar stitch card printed, have an idea of what you're doing, get your materials gathered if you haven't yet, and you'll have plenty of time. So that'll be great. Oh, Fran said it snowed a little today. Jealous. Hi, Ivy. Welcome. We are in session number 3. We got 16 minutes left on the clock. Ooh, Fran, your favorite hot chocolate is caramel hot chocolate. I have never had caramel hot chocolate before. I didn't even know that was a thing. How did I not know that was a thing? They put caramel in everything. I do have caramel syrup though for my coffee. I'm gonna have to give that a try. I mean, easy enough, right? Just hot cocoa and like one pump of caramel syrup. Is that coffee syrup? Gonna have to give that a try. How did I not ever think of that? Oh man! And then Bean says like raspberry. That sounds good too. Makes me think of those fancy chocolate bars that are like chocolate with the raspberry in like inside. I can't remember the name of it. But those are some of my favorite. Ooh, Sharon says I found a Keurig chocolate mint hot chocolate. Oh, what? What? See, now you guys are making me want to go shopping. Like what? Oh my gosh, like that sounds so good. So I do have a family tradition that we started with my kiddos. So yeah, they were really, really itty bitty when the Polar Express movie came out with Tom Hanks. And so we created a family tradition where every Christmas Eve, before the kids go to bed, we watch the Polar Express and we make hot chocolate for that whole scene, that whole hot chocolate scene. We make sure we have the hot chocolate ready to go. So when that scene is on the movie, like when that scene shows up on the movie, we grab our hot chocolate and we're like doing the whole hot chocolate thing. It's so dorky. So like it's so silly, but every year, and the kids have put their foot down that we're not allowed to watch the Polar Express movie until that time. We can't watch it before at all, like just that one time. And I'm like, wow, like they are specific. And I'm like, geez, okay. But it's a cute tradition. Like, it's just really funny when your kids are so serious about something like that. Like they're so serious. Like, no, we can't watch that movie. We can only watch it this time. And we have to drink hot chocolate. It's so funny how like serious they get. It's like, wow, okay. Ashley says, thank you for including stretch time. I often forget. Most people do. Even what word do I want to say? I don't want to say most famous, but even the biggest crochet channel, even the people with the biggest crochet channels, there we go. That's what I'm going to say. They know how to stretch. They know how important it is to stretch, but even they get so busy and bogged down, they forget to stretch, right? I know there was it was really popular 3 years ago where everybody was showing crochet stretches on Instagram Reels and doing YouTube Shorts, showing some crochet stretches. It was like really a big, like popular thing at the time. So we all know it's important, but it's almost like we show it once and they're like, okay, now you know how to do it. Now I've shown you how to do it. Now I'm going to move on to something else. And so every week I'm like, no, we're doing it. Even if it's the only time you do crochet stretches the whole week, still, if you can do it with me, then you did it and you did something really good for your body. So it's just, the more exposure you get to crochet stretches or remembering to do it, hopefully it'll stick at some point. Even I'm no exception. I've been really, really busy. I'm always busy. I'm always busy. But when I get super busy, especially this time of year, I get in my zone. I tunnel vision and I just work, and I work hard, and I don't take my breaks, and then I pay for it afterwards. Like I think it was this weekend, I was knocking something out, and then the whole next day, like my wrist hurt. And I was like, man, so I was doing some like wrist rolls and stuff, and I was like, man, I'm really feeling it. I was like, dang it, did it to myself, like, but I'm glad that you liked them. Oh, Monica says, my family tradition movie is It's a Wonderful Life. I haven't seen that movie in so long. I need to watch it this year. I've actually been thinking about it. I've thought about it a couple times this month, that movie. I haven't seen it in a long, long time, but it has such a beautiful message. You started watching it with your grandpa when you were 5. I love that. Just the sentimental value of it. So cool. Guys, we have 10 minutes left of session number 3. 10 minutes. Oh, Christine says, your video on stretching was the only one I ever saw and love it. I'm so glad. But as much as I love it, I still forget. At least it's always there for you if you ever want to get some ideas. But just like I said today, you don't have to do, like, the video I made is quite extensive. I have a lot of different stretch examples in that video. You don't have to do that whole routine. You could literally just do 5 things. And the whole idea is just to get your body to move and to get in positions that are the exact opposite or reverse of the position that we put ourselves in to crochet. Barbara says, on the last afternoon of work before holiday break, we watch White Christmas. White Christmas is one of my favorite Christmas movies. I love Bing Crosby. He's so iconic for Christmas, right? Then Bean says, my family opens PJs and a book on Christmas Eve. That's cool. I want to do the PJ thing. I need to take my kids to, like, Old Navy or something like that, where they have a lot of options. Because, I don't know what my kids are going to be interested in. They change their mind every year. I can never, they're every year they have a different opinion or they're into something different. And I'm like, okay, I can't keep up. So might do that because, the Old Navy has a lot of options and they're fairly, they're affordable. So, yeah. Not sponsored. Wish. That'd be cool. Old Navy sponsored me. Oh, that would be so cool. I'm not their genre. It'll never happen. I'm not their genre, or their niche, but that's cool. 7 minutes and 40 seconds left of session number 3. You've got this. Tunnel vision, focus, head down, work. Get to work on your project. Oh, if you do choose, I have this right over here. I've had this, a little while ago, a few months ago. I did a video where I was talking about buying yarn for projects and how I will pick colors for the project. And a way that something I like to do to pick colors for my projects is go on Pinterest and look at, what's the word? Color boards, palettes. They're color palettes. I'm like, it was right there. Look at color palettes. I have a whole board full of different color palettes because I love to see the different colors they put together and how they actually do work really well together, especially if they have a picture that is right next to the color palettes. And so you can see how the colors look next to each other or look together. And I'll find a couple different palettes that are inspiring me for the specific project that I want to make. I pick a couple palettes because the next thing that I need to do is find the yarn that the yarn colors match the palette. And unfortunately, unless you go online, and even then, you're not going to, it's kind of challenging to find yarn where all of the yarn of the same brand will match the yarn in the color swatch, the palette that they have, that they say these colors look good together. I did manage to find these for the video that I made. No, other direction. Here you go. Those. They matched a palette that I found on Pinterest. I was like, oh, those look great. And they are all Wool Ease size 6 weight yarn. I've had these in the backdrop of my videos, and if you go back and look at any of my videos that I have released and you look behind me on my shelf, like up top where there's like a row full of yarn, you'll see these. You'll see these up there. I'm tired of just looking at them. I want to do something with them. So this is all the yarn I have. I want to make something small, like just a small little blanket. I'm like trying to think. And if I have to buy more, then I have to buy more. You know, it is what it is, right? But I'm trying to think of what simple stitch, simple, because it's size 6, what simple stitch that I could use, or even pattern. I'm like, would you do rows or would you do squares? Like a granny square type style. Would you do rows or would you do squares that you put together? Kind of torn. I'm thinking almost about, I've been curious to try that one square where you start in the corner, and then you like expand it and shrink it. So it's still a square, but you started it in this corner here and you went diagonal. That's what I'm thinking. If I did a square, what would you think? Square or rows? That's another good question to ask in my my community tab on YouTube. Corner to corner. Oh, someone mentioned the name of the square. Maybe. I knew what you were saying, Arrow Lover. Kelly says I would do squares. Yeah, just the way these colors are, I'm wondering how to best represent the colors. Yeah. Yeah. Gab a lot and crochet a lot. Is that's just jibber jabber. Emmett Otter's Jug Band Christmas. I have no idea what that is. You're gonna have to elaborate. You're gonna have to let me know what that means. All right, so Mitter to granny square. It's that type of granny square. Yes. So I made it before the end. Yay! Yay, Rose! I'm glad you made it. You got 2 minutes. Yay! Like I'm seeing a lot of squares. Okay. Ashley says I would do rows, but corner to corner squares would be best of both worlds. Okay. Oh, Nessie said I've used that yarn. You've made beanies. Yeah, I could see beanies. It's really nice. You use the Tunisian stitch. Okay. Gotcha. Yeah, that's the thing with granny squares is there's a lot of different granny squares out there that you can make, right? There's a lot that you can do, but people either love or hate them because of the whole joining part. And it's just kind of like the nature of the beast. You just, like, it is what it is. But some people dislike it enough where they just choose to not do squares altogether. So I get it. Oh, Mary, you said it's your favorite movie. A Jim Henson production. Oh, that makes sense. That's cute. I will look it up. I bet I do love it. I'm going to write it down, because if I don't write it down, then I will forget, because that is me. Jug Band Christmas. We got 25 seconds, guys, before session 3 is over. You got this. Really kind of hone in, zero in, focus 100% on your project. Get as far as you can with these last 15 seconds. Wow, Nessa, you've done a lot with this yarn. Fingerless gloves. Nice. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. That's why I said simple stitch, because with size 6, the bulkier the yarn, you want to go simpler with the stitches. So I was thinking V-stitch, but you guys got me thinking a whole other project. Time's up, guys. Your third 20-minute session is now complete. It's over. Thank you so much for being here today. I hope that you got some good progress done on your 3 projects. I hope you made a significant dent. I'm really happy that you made it, and I'm really hoping that it helped. I do hope that. If you missed it, we are not going to meet with each other for the next 2 weeks, because next Wednesday is Christmas Day and the Wednesday after that is New Year's Day. So I will meet up with you in 3 weeks, and heck, let's just plan on a giveaway. All right. So I hope you can make it. That, like, look out for that one, because we'll do a brand new year. See you in the new year, right? Brand new year, kick it off. Have some fun. And I hope you take care. Happy holidays, everybody. Wishing you the best. So much love, so much joy, so much happiness. I hope you have a great time. And I look forward to seeing you guys in the new year. Take care. Bye, everybody.